Hey, Will. I don't think this will be too bad. Let's just go ahead and get started. We're actually going to be talking about several different things. I'm going to start with the notes. I have everything written down so that way I can just go through it verbatim. There's no reason to, it could just go on forever. So just let me read this and um, get to what I got to get to. Um, so we're going to go ahead and start with scope, where we've been, where we are, where we're going, breaking it up into three parts here. So I'm going to explain sort of what we've been working on over the last year. Just, a quick look at it. I mean, it's only this long right here, right? Going to show you some different things, like notes that I had tucked away. Then we're going to be going over the present and then the future, 10 boiling points to take away. We're going to be going over, we're going to take a look at the flow chart for the website. We're going to be taking a look at the website now, the booking form. We're going to be taking a look at the mobile version as well. And then finally, we're going to be wrapping up with Ginger. So let's get into it. Foundation squared away. Many don't know exactly these notes. I'm going to blow through this stuff. So these notes will be in where I usually leave them in Slack. Many don't know exactly what they're looking for when it comes time to hire someone related to IT. This is because they have such a cluster bomb of issues that it can be a bit hectic to explain them if you do not understand them yourself. So I explained that when we met. The catch-22 in hiring an IT person is you don't exactly know how to explain what it is that you need. When I started, we spent a large amount of time and mental energy trying to stop this snowball effect. We spent a lot of time on paper, trying to get things in order, small tasks that were actually symptoms of a larger issue. We were scrambling and disorganized. We had a website that didn't work. We were pushing $3,000 a month down an AdWords rat hole with the website broken. We started to doubt our past efforts with AdWords and whether what we were doing there was profitable or not. We had sort of an IT panic because many large and small IT related issues were beginning to surface. We were getting reports of malfunction in our booking widget. A primary line of business software was unsatisfactory, and assistance with that has been poor. We had a second wind on wanting to open another location and felt intuitively that there may be a list of things that needed to be changed. We had hopes of growth and going digital, but didn't quite know where to put our stake in the ground. So when you and I met, I mean, there was a lot of enthusiasm for wanting to change a lot of things, putting things on tablets, getting screens in the door. I mean, changing the software, doing all this different stuff. And all in all, here's a solid takeaway point. All in all, we're somehow floating right down that stream. We're right on time. We're taking a look at making changes to software and everything that we're doing. We're making it work to our advantage. So we haven't actually had any major slip ups or concerns. The biggest thing I can think of is when the website just totally crashed, and we fixed that same day. So we've done pretty well, but I do have another major takeaway point we'll get down here. Why I'm going over all of this. This is the abridgment. We obviously had a lot more things. We had list after list after list after list. That was kind of my point. We were working out on paper, trying to filter things down and filter things down and filter things down. This is an abridgment. The insignificant stressors below point to a larger issue at hand. We wanted growth, but we're disorganized. That's exactly what it was. I remember when we met, we wanted to do a lot of things, and we weren't anywhere near what we wanted to do. We were kind of having some IT problems all over the place, and we're well on our way. We were disorganized, and we had those ideas of growth in the back of our minds. You had the plan all drawn up behind your desk before I came in the door. So this is spot on. We'll show video highlight to save time. So you may think you have a lot of papers on the business overall, but as far as my side of the thing, the stuff that I handle, you may think that you have a lot of. Let me tell you, I've got a ton. I've got all kinds of activity reports. I mean, pages and pages of stuff. All this stuff. And there's so much just all over the place. There's all of this stuff, solved pain points and working pain points and strategies, and this was a good one. Figuring out the average CPA for what we had been paying. Organic strategies, and I'm gonna set up a time when I go through and double check all this stuff, make sure I didn't, nothing fell down in the nooks and crannies and whatnot, and there's so much. Notes, software, reservation tracking, recruiting. We've done so many different things, like editing those email swipes and Indeed, doing the Indeed thing, and here's some keywords. We eventually got things boiled down to close these guys out. I mean, there's just pages and pages of stuff. It's crazy. I mean, we have went through so much processing. It's been intense. I eventually boiled things down. No, that's not the one. Oh well, I'm not going to get into it. It was basically a list where I had finally boiled everything down into like this one-page checklist. And I looked at that, and we've gotten most of that done and have the rest of it in the works. My point is that we've kind of switched lanes from having to have everything on paper and everything has to have, 2 weeks of back and forth and planning and stuff. We've kind of moved. Well, let me just read the rest of this. Explain that what we were doing had a larger scope. We were trying to take control. We needed the above issues fixed. We needed all the minuscule things and the highlights. So there's more and more notes that I wanted to show you, but I'm not going to. Highlights attended to. We needed to discuss software, updated marketing material, HR and leads, digital signage, digital marketing, website, Facebook, and everything in between. My point is that we had a lot. We had to process a lot of small fish. We had to do a bunch of stuff on paper, in notes, back and forth, kind of getting in sync. We had to fry a lot of small fish in order to get to a position where we're taking control of our marketing, our digital presence, our booking, our software, our analytics. My point is that we're on the same page. We've gotten a lot done. The point of this was to give you a quick once-over of where we've been. But at the same time, I also want to convey the point that we have moved to a place where everything used to be on paper and we used to be just scattered all over the place. Like, even while we were getting those things done, we were scattered all over the place. We were working off different sheets of paper, different desks, doing that stuff. It just, look at where we're at now. Now we can have a quick phone call. I can do a couple videos, and we maintain communication in Slack, And if there's something specific, we've got, different tools for different stuff. So we're able to get so much more done in such a we're organized now. So not only did we get all of those things done while we were going through that cluster bomb, but now we're at a place where we're more organized. So let's just keep going. Present. Insignificant issues have been burnt through. We understand that it is extremely cost effective to keep our marketing material up to date. So this is just some points where we're at now. We understand that it's extremely cost effective to keep our marketing material up to date. So we can now have, fresh, new, try different, door hangers and different handouts and stuff to have. And that's very cost effective for us to dabble in different things like that. We have reestablished an acquaintance with local indirect competitors. So not a whole lot back on that, but maybe it's one of those things that takes some time. The more we get familiar with them, maybe the more they'll, oh yeah, I like that Storm guy. He doesn't waste up all my time trying to jam something down my throat. I like him. He's funny or whatever. He brought those cookies. So I'm going to start handing these things out. He's brought us cookies twice. I'm going to start handing these things out. Whatever it is, we're staying on it. It doesn't hurt us that much. And over time, we've come to understand that we must be proactive in our marketing, i.e. flyers, door hangers, signage, advertising. There's a lot of almost zero cost marketing methods out there. And I love that stuff. So I'm really, really interested in things that have really high returns because I'm one who likes to hedge his bets. So those things are of a lot of interest to me. I could do a lot of research on those and help with planning and stuff like that, even though I will be buckled down here after the website comes to a full close. I still, I'm really fascinated with those types of campaigns. So I could definitely help in the strategy and things like that. We understand that in order to avoid an IT cluster bomb, we must stay on top of it. So we're on top of it now, and as this next year goes by, we're going to be in full gear, especially with us considering, new software and booking alternatives. The next 12 to 24 months, we're going to be looking at stepping into a real place of control, being in control of our social media platforms, advertising platforms, and so on. We may be aware that to prepare for massive growth, we must form some sort of corporate structure. So we've made some movements, to my knowledge, as far as, managers and stuff like that going on. I forgot who. It was me and a couple other people got some promotions and things like that, and we're considering making some changes. We may. It's just an idea thrown out there, to be honest with you. I'm just trying to do my job and bring what I can to the table, I guess, and ideas, and maybe thinking about corporate structure might be a good idea. Moving on. We are now proactive in our means of communication, so it's hard for me to even describe now. We're down. We got it down pat. It used to be, take all of these papers home, take all these files home. Here, let me take all these notes. Let me, I got everything that I got on the computer. I got like twice as much here at the office. So, I guess we're fully integrated is a good way to say it. Might not fully show the picture, but let me just keep going. Present focus, spinning AdWords into a highly profitable means of driving business, creating a website that not only represents our business well and its intentions for growth, but also serves as a tool for running our business and integrating with its digital components. Making AdWords marketable, making Google My Business marketable, making SEO marketable, making Facebook marketable. We're putting together this. We're finishing up this website that's geared up to capitalize on those things. It's not some big fancy button heavy. I didn't put a bunch of animations on it. I might put in some animations, and different things like that. But right now, we got to start basic. We got to start with the basics. So we're getting everything that's important to the business, and we're putting it on a better looking website that functions properly. Moving on. Shifting our Facebook appearance to, so this is present focus, shifting our Facebook appearance to something relatable and shareable, which will allow us to make it marketable. In the past, we just kind of looked like, we looked like a business. We looked like a small business. Now we're kind of playing things to our advantage. We turn our page into a page. We're sharing that stuff, and people are loving it and engaging with it and sharing, and we've established this foundation where we can start to grow the page, where we can tie in all these different, Facebook's going to get really complex, is the bottom line there. Taking control of our brand appearance online, SEO, Google My Business, these review sites, I know some of them are annoying, but they're important, just let me worry about that, and I'll cross that bridge when I get to it, but, what people are saying about us online, whether it's on social media or it's reviews, or all of that reflects back onto SEO. All of that points to the website and our digital brand. Planning integrations of external components into website. So let me show you this. This flowchart has actually changed a little bit. I'm always a little leery about squeeze pages. And so I decided to go ahead, and we're not going to do the squeeze page. I don't know if I'm going to come back to it or not. Squeeze pages are usually best used for like leads. Like the idea is, as far as, in my opinion, goes, if to use it successfully, I think you really have to interject it. You have to interject it into someone's digital journey. Let me just give you an example. So somebody's doing something online, right? They're scrolling through Facebook, they're watching YouTube videos, they're online reading articles about whatever. They're doing what they do online. And all of a sudden, here we are presenting ourselves as a business, and you know how people respond to that, especially considering what website you're on. If you're on Reddit and you come across some marketing on Reddit, they're going to ignore you immediately. So a squeeze page is best used when you're just going to quickly interrupt someone while they're online. You get them to click on an ad or whatever, and it opens up your squeeze page. And basically the squeeze page is like, hey, can we get your email real quick? And then we'll contact you later. That's how a squeeze page should operate. And it gets more complex there. We're not going to be using the squeeze page, so I'm not going to continue on explaining it. But basically, in a nutshell, I felt that it was a safer bet to just go ahead and send all traffic to the main home page, since it's been designed airtight from all angles, and it has all the different types of information that would be useful to different demographics, different market segments. So it has all of that in one place. So and it's still rather condensed, and it's it's not word heavy or anything like that. It's not a super long page. So I thought, no matter who we send at this, it would be a great baseline just to start here. And, I don't know if we'll come back to the squeeze page, because the squeeze page is best used for leads, lead capture, lead generation. Squeeze page is best for that. I would feel remorse if we were sending all of our Facebook traffic or some of our Facebook traffic to a page that just, basically just sends one offer, get a free day of booking or what have you. I want them to be exposed to all of the elements that are on the main page, so we can kind of sway them, right? I don't want to just put a simple squeeze page there. I'd rather them come to the main website. So this is kind of, we had some flow here. Just kind of ignore the green. Twitter, just real quick, Twitter needs to mature. Instagram needs to mature. If you hear issues or anything like that, Don't worry about them so much. We're doing what we can, but we got to do one thing at a time, or we won't get anything done at all. But they need to mature. Facebook's pretty good, and we've got it turned around. We've got a good baseline. We're going to grow that baseline though. But the part that's left on this flow chart that I wanted to show you is kind of give you an idea about how SEO works. So we've got this website, right? And we want it to show up in the SERPs, which is, I know you can't see my, let me see if I can get it different so you can see me. I'll just do this guy. So I'm over here by Google in the top right hand corner. You can see SERPs here. That's search engine results pages. We've got AdWords and we've got Google My Business. So Google is sending traffic to the website. And we've got the blog articles. They tie. They tie into both Google and the website. And then down here we've got some things that point to the website, that do things for the website as far as SEO goes. So you got the main component is links. So you basically, nobody knows Google's algorithm. It's a secret algorithm, and it's continually changed and changed and changed. And therein lies SEO. One of the major components of SEO is backlinking. So basically what that does is it shows Google that you're an authority. So if you have other websites that are linking out to your page saying, hey, go here, go to theanimalden.com, then that shows that we're an authority. People used to call it link juice. But it's a little more complicated than that. You don't want to just build any links. You want to build links that are related to what you're talking about, because that, I guess you could say, that makes the link juice more effective, if you will. And there are lots of different ways that you can do that. You can do that organically. One such way is guest posts, and I'll talk about that in a moment. You've got your social signals, which is people linking out to you. All those different links that are generated by like Facebook when you share things from the page, or when people say, hey, check this out, this page, what have you. There's a lot of different methods to organically growing your link profile, your backlink profile. And there's lots of different software to do lots of different things, and a lot of it's kind of expensive. But it's the major thing, SEO. So there's another way that you can do it is Black Hat. So basically, it involves 3 or 4 pieces of software that essentially, one method is to use what's called a PBN, a private blog network. And essentially what you do is you create a bunch of blogs and you fill them with text all about animal stuff. And what I would even do is create what's called an infinite article, which is where you make each paragraph of an article universally distinct, meaning that like it's completely independent. It's a complete and independent thought in and of itself. So that way you have a piece of software that rotates, say, 10 or 15 paragraphs that all are distinct individual thoughts when you read the paragraph itself. And so you can rotate that paragraph or those 15 paragraphs in an unlimited number and an infinite number of sequences. And basically you basically just wrote basically what it is you wrote 15 paragraphs, and now you have an unlimited article. Because when you build a PBN, when you're building, say, 15 animal blogs, and you plan to point them all at your website, right? They're all going to be pointing to your website as the head honcho and giving you all this link juice. Well, you have both bots and manual people who look through this stuff to see if it's just a bunch of gibberish words to pass along link juice or if it's actual complete thoughts. So there's what's called, with a PBN, there's what's called a footprint. And you can't leave a footprint. There's a lot of different stuff that goes into that. But basically, you build your own links. So there's organic and there's black hat link building. And there's reasons for both. I'm going to keep going. Guest posts. So we're going to reach out to, once we come back and do our SEO for the website, meaning like the metadata, all the on-site stuff. So as far as SEO, there's on-site and off-site. We're going to come back and do a lot of on-site stuff. When we do that, we'll start looking at guest posts saying, hey, would you like to come, review our business or review the websites, or would you like to take advantage of this free, we'll find like local publications and say, hey, do you have someone who has a dog on, that has a dog, one of your writers has a dog, they can come stay with us and write about their experience. And, there's a lot of people who read those publications and articles and stuff. I don't know, Times, I don't read any of them, so I don't know. But local publications and local blogs and different stuff like that, we'll get them to write about us. We'll see if we can write about some stuff on their website. Maybe we'll write about training or whatever. Basically just think publications. So online publications, we'll get them talking about us. And we'll try and do some talking on their website so we can link back to our site. But again, this is all to gear up for Google. So reviews, that's kind of like social signals that sends authority across to our website. And then emails, building an email list. When you have more traffic, another thing that affects SEO is traffic. So when people are traveling through certain links or they're going to certain web pages, that additional traffic creates more signals of authority to Google. I'll wrap that up there. How blogs tie in is that, so you've got this web page right here that, it only has so many words on it. And remember, we're marketing, we're technically using that page to market to like 4 or 5 different market segments, types of people who are worried about security, people who are worried about price, people who are worried about a fun, lucky time, people who are, and that's not even to mention people who are interested in training, people who are interested in transportation, people who are interested in boarding, salon, the amenities. Basically, you can only cover so much content with the website. But let's say we wrote a blog article that was all about animal boarding and what you should expect. That blog is going to be much easier that blog post is going to be much easier to rank for one keyword, animal boarding, than trying to get the home page to rank for it. Now, we're talking about local SEO, so that's going to be a bit different, but I'll draw that to a close there. All right, future. We just went over present. I just showed you the flow chart, and basically with the flow chart, we're not doing the Facebook squeeze page. We're going to talk about Facebook a little bit here, but I showed you the SEO. Now we're talking about the future. We're wrapping things up. Future, website tune-up. So after the website, this is basically after the website is done. We're going to come back and tune up the website. After the migration, there might be little errors, a little, certain things are out of place. Like, for instance, doing mobile. Just doing web design is a real pain. Web design is a super pain, man. It's just like at any time, everything could go awry. Or things could just totally... It's like basically... Web design is basically all circumventing. That's all you do is you circumvent. You circumvent this problem. You circumvent this problem. You circumvent this problem. It's a literal nightmare if I could fathom one. So then we're gonna come back and do the website tune-up because we're gonna be doing a whole migration, and we're going to check and make sure everything is, like, we're going to make sure front desk has access to the email and all the applications that need to be plugged in the email, such as the form for the booking. That needs to be plugged into their email so they can see every reservation that comes in. Make sure that the chat's all plugged up and nice and pretty. So we're going to be coming back to that immediately. Then we're going to do a pin post on Facebook. So this is going to be a post on the top of our page. It'll stay at the top of our page. And it'll basically just lightly introduce our business, maybe throw a free day of booking for new, whatever, and link to the website, and maybe contain one of the videos, right? So it's basically just sort of like a catch-all biography. Welcome to our page. Here's all the information that you need from us in one post, and we keep that at the top. And that does a lot for marketing. We're going to take a look at the chat bots. So how we're going to be engaged. We're going to start formulating a strategy about becoming engaged with our Facebook page. There's a lot that comes to that as well, about getting engaged with your prospective clientele. Blitz ad creation. So this will basically be like, there's going to be 2 ads. So we're going to have an ad that we run seasonal times, when it's, I don't know, July. I mean, you guys know the times. When it's about vacation time, we'll start running an ad that says, hey, come book with us, right? You're getting ready to go out of town. We know you are. Book with us. And we're going to basically run that ad to all of our likers and their friends, for the most part. And we're going to narrow it down to, location and about what they get paid maybe. There's a lot of different things we can siphon down. We can siphon down to like who likes dogs and stuff. But if they liked our page, then might as well market to them and their friends. And then the Blitz ad. The Blitz ad is sort of more towards, it's not focused on the vacation or the season. It's focused on like a weekend away, or, like a play day. Schedule them a play day this Tuesday while you're at work, and after you pick them up from work or whatever. You know what I mean? We basically got short term that we're going to run all the time, and then we got long term that we run. You get what I'm saying. So there's going to be 2 types of ads there. Google My Business Tune-Up. We're going to take a look at that. I want to stop for a few moments and look at that. And this is just to name a few things. Playing with Ginger. Going to start working with Ginger. I kind of want to get some Facebook stuff out of the way real quick. Because I know we're wanting to mess with that. The Ginger operation, we're going to introduce it at the end of this video, but still, the Ginger operation it's a big one as well. It's a major one. So it's not something we're going to, I kind of want to get some Facebook stuff off the plate there before we get into that. AdWords tune-up. I'm going to come back and redo some AdWords stuff. SEO. We'll get cracking on that. So takeaway here is I'm going to be busy after the website's done. We're kind of at this point where we bit off a lot, and now we're passing it, and we're about to deal with the aftershock of that a little bit. Getting the website done. Once it's fully closed, once we pass that bite, we're gonna have to update a couple things. I kind of want to do a migration to a mock. I want to do like a mock migration to make sure everything goes smoothly. There's a couple components I have in mind that might, I just practice and due diligence there. So let's wrap things up. Points for Mel. AdWords is doing 3 times as well as last year with half the cost. We're expecting even better results moving forward. So I've mentioned to you how changing the website underneath, having a website that is up and works, is going to return much better results than last year. We've established a solid foundation for turning Facebook into a tool we can use to market the business. So we're turning Facebook into something we can actually use like AdWords. We've begun to update our marketing material, including handouts, the website, and proper digital signage. We're turning our attentions from minor IT problems to actively marketing the company with both online and offline strategies. So it's basically a lot of the beginning stuff where I was talking about the way we were doing things. We had a lot of minuscule things we had to attend to before we could get something done. Now we're moving to a more actively marketing the company with both online and offline strategies, as opposed to doing a bunch of back and forth. We're putting in place a reliable platform for booking, which will include more effective upselling. So I'm going to show you the temporary one now. The temporary one's a form. A lot of our competitors use a form, and it's going to be it's simple and it's safe. It's reliable. We're taking control of our branding online, i.e. recruiting coverage like local blogs and online publications, establishing a presence on social media and Google, and taking an active approach in monitoring and encouraging reviews. So we're taking control of our online brand. Number 8, we are putting together a proactive means of implementing SEO with hopes of increasing exposure greatly. So, SEO was was a concern of hers. We're well on our way to doing that. We will soon be looking at making changes to both hardware and software in the business with hopes of making office operations less of a headache. So we've priced out some computers and things. I would go and price that again. But we make a change to that would be really nice. Kicking off the dust. I don't have to work with those computers every day, but I imagine. I've come across this exact scenario. So sometimes you don't notice the problem. Sometimes you don't notice that they're slow because it's what you're on. But you just think of it in terms of efficiency, like a worker's efficiency. If that's how I see things in my life. Like if I need an update to my phone and I need an update to my computer, I can tell. How my workflow is slowed down because of that. So that's something to think about. I remember, if I remember correctly, some of your machines are like somewhere between 10 and 20 years old. And I think the average life I think it's gotten up to like somewhere between 2 and 4 years, I think it is. But, just another one of those ideas to put out there and see, if it's... All right, let me move on. So updating the hardware and software would make front desk just feel like a breeze. We are exhausting great measures to juggle updates to marketing, technology, and strategy with intent on identifying any and all means of growing business while making it easier to do so. So we're juggling a lot. I know that we are. We're juggling a lot. But again, remember I said we're going down the stream the best we can. We're not having any major slip-ups. Also, putting the bow on the website. All right, so let's wrap this stuff up. I hate taking up your time. All right, so here's the website. There's still a lot of small stuff. We're coming to a close in a major way. But there's still going to be small stuff on the back end that needs looked at, tied up, and then even after I want to do a mock migration, and then we're going to have to do I got to write the articles, but that's not the biggest concern. But, I want to do a mock migration to make sure our migration looks smooth. We're going to be coming from do I need to make what we got it on now an SSL and put us on an SSL? Because I know we're not on there's a lot of stuff. So But we're coming to a close in a major way, like I said. But there's still going to be stuff change. So like I said, it's back-to-back circumventing. It's a pain in the butt. But what's come together, I really like it. You know, I'm aware that it's not top-notch. You know, a lot of what I do is business-focused. So that's the same with the web design. You know, I'm more focused on the business objectives than fancy animations and stuff. I can put some animations and stuff in here, but anyways, got this. One of the circumventing things is, for some reason, this nice nav bar I had working perfectly, it snapped, and you see this forest green color, which actually matches our brand. This forest green color wasn't intended. I was thinking that it needed something, but I had it like on this off, like this gray kind of thing. I showed it to you before, but so there's two elements here. You have the background, and then you have this sort of foreground where all these are like buttons, right? The buttons all of a sudden got outlined, and it just looked like the background was all white, and then each of the buttons was this forest green color, and I could not for the life of me figure out where the bug was. That's constantly what it is debugging. I can't stand it. There's nothing. That's the thing I hate about computers, is you expect them to be straightforward, and they're not. You expect them to operate like a calculator, operate the same way every time, but they don't. And the number one thing I've ever come across, I do a lot of different things on the computer, the number one representation of that flaw in computers is web design. But basically what I did is I changed that background from like that ivory color, ivory gray, to this forest green so that it matches the buttons, and somehow I guessed the color code. It was kind of funny, but it looks nice, and you can't tell that these buttons are backed. I had to do some more work with the logo. I understand that you think that the previous logo, the copy that you have pulled away, is mint. It's not mint, because it's like the logo was created on a white background, and then the white background was turned transparent, and that's how you got your logo with transparent background. But you can't. What that does is, when you're making the logo, you can't see where all the white spaces are. So when you take a logo like that, you see how there's no background to this. It's just the logo. When you take a logo like that and you put it over dark surfaces like dark green or dark gray and black, it shows whites. It shows white pixels. And you'll see it on the book. When we get over to the booking side, I'll show you there's a couple white pixels by the cat's tail that you can't see until the logo gets bigger, and I'll have to go in and fix that. But there's a lot of image. I have to put it into like an image processor like Photoshop and do a bunch of things with it, and then I even have to do in the editor that I use to edit the website. I had to do a bunch of graphic stuff to it there as well. So even just the logo took a while, but I knew what I wanted, and I knew how to get there. So the background, I like this background. Everything's like this nice forest green. Stuff might change, fonts have changed. You didn't like that cursive font. We got something that still has some pizzazz. I think it looks even better. So let's just look at the rest of this. The email, I went ahead and changed that from a $25 off just to join us for now, so that we could get the migration done, and then I can make sure everything's tied in and looks good, and make sure everything goes down smooth, and then we'll come back at that. I also took off the flyer section for both. I just have it hidden. I have it hidden on the website so it doesn't show up on desktop, tablet, or mobile. The section with the flyers. I like those flyers. We got to come back and create some stuff to put there. So we just got the basics. All of this is focused on establishing a basic foundation for what, you know, our website is going to be and look like, what it's going to do. All of that stuff is basic stuff, and there might be more things that come down the line. So we've got the form here that collects name and email. Got experience. Some of these backgrounds might change still. Got the video. Pickup and delivery. Some of these icons might change, but they're pretty good. The only one that's really in question is the Guaranteed by Angie's List. I don't know anything about that, but I wanted 4 images, so that way it would scroll, which is cool. So we can always find a different image. We could submit to Angie's List, and that would be enough. I don't think it even really matters. Pickup and delivery, state-of-the-art transport for peace of mind. We've got the about section for pickup and delivery, pricing. We've got the and to show you sort of the anchor text, what that does is it just gently scrolls you to where it is you want to go. So we'll get back down to PUD. Oh yeah, the PUD one's broken for some reason. I don't know why. It has literally no reason to be. I'll have to check into it again. But that's the only one. You get down to Why Us. So this is the Why Us section. Just some blurps about why you should go with us. They deserve it. Book your fun day away. Let them be pampered and treated. We got some stuff here. The animal den was great. Blah, blah, blah. We can get some real pictures in there. Maybe even get some real quotes. You know, I don't know if we could just get some random pictures and put them in there. Really, it doesn't even matter. Ready to book. We can't blame you. Our services. I mean, this takes a better spin on things. It's better to have it all nice and airy like this than, you know, you look at Pet Palace, everything is just thrown together in one, and you got these color clashes between yellow and purple. It drives me nuts. A bunch of people, I don't understand it. A bunch of our competitor websites, they don't have things even organized. And I'm not trying to be arrogant. I'm just calling it how I see it. Like I mentioned, I would never call myself a good web designer. But the advantage with me is that I am focused on business objectives. But I definitely think a lot of our competitors kind of forgot about their websites for a long time. It's really just like Camp Bow Wow. The only ones that are really new and updated is like Camp Bow Wow. I think Pet Suites is kind of updated. I forget. Barkefellers might be. I can't remember. I've went through so many. So you got everything right here, nice and neat. Rates may change depending on the season. Got another video here. Come visit. Secrets in our care. We got the map. We got chat, which it doesn't recognize me as a new user. If I was a new user, it would introduce itself when I popped up, and it has a little noise with it, and it says, well, it doesn't. It's not. We're not like logged into the back end. So basically, front desk is going to have this like nice little dashboard. I'm pretty sure everything's free. Nice little dashboard that they can log into, and they can just manage all the chats. I'm sure they have something like that now. But this is nice, man. I mean, it's like this nice, cute little blue-white techie button and chat with us, and it's always available on every page. Like, we're going to be using... If the front desk thought chat was annoying before, they're going to be doing a lot of chatting now. Because, I mean, we get a decent amount of traffic in business and stuff online. And in the old website, I didn't even know we had chat, really. Because I think it only comes up on one page. And it's not the home page. So I'm really not sure how that chat takes. I don't think the chat comes in until you're on like one of the booking steps. Yeah. So we basically just have a temporary simple booking solution here. It opens up in a new page. It does not open up in a new page when you click on book now here, but I mean there's pros and cons to it opening up a new page and not. See, all of these things these are all little thoughts you got to think about. All right, come on. For some reason it's not pulling it up like it should. It shouldn't look like that. It's a much more condensed picture. I don't know why it looks like that. Hang on one second. Tell you what, man. Losing my mind. Just kidding. I hope this is recording again. Alright. There we go. It's funny. It's fixed now, and what I had to do, I had to change it to a setting that's called fixed. It's basically where it makes everything scroll up over top of it. I still want to see if I can add a parallax to that, but there's some hoops I gotta jump through. So you got the logo, you can see these white pixels there. I'll go in and I'll fix those. The Animal Den Pet Resort, make a reservation. To make a reservation, please fill out the form below. This is going to change. I basically ripped this off from another site, so I got to change it to make it our own. Thank you for booking with the Animal Den. Please note, submitting the form does not guarantee a reservation, as that is subject to availability. So basically the same thing we got going now. Please complete the form below, and we will contact you within 24 hours. If you have not been contacted within 24 hours, please call us to ensure that we have received your request. If you need to make a same-day reservation, please call the resort directly. As far as I understand the back end, as far as I understand, like the online and stuff, I assume that we're doing confirmations, because we don't have confirmations that come up anywhere else really. Not like a full-on confirmation, so I assume we do call back confirmations. First name, last name, your email, street address, address line 2, city, state, and zip, reservation start date, they could just put it right in, reservation end date, pets names, and this works for Pet Suites, which is a pretty good sized company, I think. Pets names, breeds. I mean, this is better than what we got going on now. If we got a lot. What we got going on now is just not working. If more than one pet in a family, will they be sharing a room? Bringing only one pet. Dog weight, could buy weights for multiple dogs dog types for multiple dogs. Type NA if it's a cat. New customer, so we can find out whether or not we're supposed to apply the first day free or not. Then you got all the amenities. They can see that the pricing is available on the home page. So if they want a cuddle break, they can add. They might add a cuddle break. So I mean, I guess let's just do one real quick. So we'll do. I don't want to do my name. We'll just do something like this. Mark Smith. Smoth. Smith. Mark Smith at gmail.com. His address is 111 1 Street. Address line 2, apartment 1. I don't know, Anderson, Indiana, 46013. And I was going to put an IE city, comma. But I mean, it's pretty straightforward. And then they put in when they want to start booking. So let's say 5/17/19 to 5/24/19, right? Pet's name is Bella. We also have, I don't know, Moxie, who's a cat. Breeds. We're going to do lab, and I don't even know a type of cat, to be honest with you. I love animals. I've loved animals since I was a kid. It's been kind of funny thinking about that working here. I love animals. I just don't know. I guess I just don't have one. If more than one pet in the family, will they be sharing a room? I'm bringing only one pet. They could say yes. They'll be sharing a room. They've got 2 dogs. You know what I mean? They got 2 dogs, a lab and a pug, so they fit nicely together. I want to add another section that says, are you using deluxe or non? They could say yes or no. So let's say dog's weight. They got Moxie, who's a cat, who's, I don't know. I don't think there's a Siberian cat. I don't know. Dog's weight, we'll say, I don't know, 75 pounds. And then they might do NA. It doesn't really matter what they do. We're not going to be confused. We're asking for the information that we need in order to make a reservation. And so we ask that information. And then we call, we make the reservation. We call confirm, right? And give them like a price or something. New customer, yes. So we know to not count their first day. They get their first day free as a new customer. Amenities, pricing available on homepage. Let's say they want a cuddle break, right? They want a cuddle break and a nature walk. And then they might say, and we're going to call them back and we're going to say, do you want that cuddle break every day or did you just want one? And so, I don't know if, like, for instance, like the retreats, the daytime retreats, I don't know if that needs to be right here, if you want it right here. So basically we've just got a starter form that collects the information that we need to make in order to make a reservation, and let me know what else needs to be considered and we can work it in. That's just some of the back end details I'm talking about. Put in a message, I don't know. And then it sends, and it basically goes to the staff email. And they'll have all the information that they need, including the phone number, which I don't know why that's not on here. I took everything straight from one of our competitors' forms. I don't know why they wouldn't ask for a phone number. That's funny. So expect a phone number in here. Yeah, let's keep moving on. No. Let's look at mobile. So mobile is a pain. You basically have to reconstruct the website to fit mobile. So basically we don't have a hamburger icon. We don't have a nav bar. Nothing like that. We just start right in. 21 years of excellent service. And actually on my mobile, it looks like that. So you basically have chat in here. Chat, I think, is just like a circle. It doesn't look that awkward where it's overlapping. It looks nice. So you got 21 years of excellent service, you got free day lodging, and then it goes into here. And then the book now button is right there on the top. So this is what you see. And I think this is actually down here in the corner. But then moving on, this is kind of how things look on mobile. Get seasonal specials, join us, they can join, experience. So I took out the flyers that had the different specials on them. I took that out for now. We'll come back to it after we do the final migration. pickup and delivery. On mobile, they can tap on this stuff. It all moves and works fine. So that's how mobile should look. And we have a little, it's a little tough, you know, on the main website, our services section has a background image to it, but it's too long of a space on mobile to fit any background image. Same thing with when we get over here. Basically the same issue. So we had to use basically just a rope, like some kind of bush, spring bush or whatever. Because if you use a pet, since it's so long, it stretches the image vertically until it fits that space, and then you're so zoomed up on the dog, you're like in his mouth. So that's why these flowers are so big. All right, so this is the home page over here on the left. This is the booking page, and these are mobile views. And you get down here, you can watch that. You can watch both the videos on mobile. Get into booking. You got your footer. You got chat. Chat works on mobile. Everything's nice and smooth. Just a couple sections moved around. I mean, everything's reconstructed, but yeah, you got everything, man. You got your videos and you got your swag. You're good. Everything works fine. Like I said, I can add animations out the yazoo, but the main thing we're wanting right now is something we can start actually monetizing, is what it's called, monetizing. So we want to be able to, we want to have a good basic foundation for, you know, using our Facebook and AdWords campaigns and different stuff like that. All right, so you know, when you're on the booking page, you got your chat button. So if they need some help with something, we're right there. The chat works everywhere, and it works nicely. I've used it back and forth on my mobile, and it's good. And they just scroll down and get through the form. You know, it's not a big fancy 4-step process, but if it works for our competitors, I mean, we're smart enough to make it work for us. You know what I mean? And it's going to be something reliable that we can use now. We can use it now and turn our focus onto Ginger. We don't have to juggle old website, old booking, you know, AdWords, and whether we're going to do an A/B split, send some traffic to the old website, some to the new website, use the booking widget on the new website, even though it's flawed, and we don't have to juggle all that stuff. We could just get it, it works, move on. Additional messages, send. Simple. And the chat's right there. Okay, let's wrap this thing up. So, Ginger, just doing an introduction. So you can see I'm at gingerapp.com. They have a similar, the anchor text bar. So if you click on feature, it'll scroll right down to packed with all kinds of features. There's another page. I read like 3 sections, and there was only 3 sections, and it was a lot. It was a lot of stuff that was impressive. So let's take a quick look at this. This is more than the 3 sections. This must be a different page. Packed with features that make running your business easier. Client pet management, unlimited profiles, upload photos of owners and pets, go paperless with digital waivers, agreements, store vaccination records, track daycare and boarding package credits, account balances, transaction history, all that stuff instead of being in the file cabinet. Manage reservations, appointments, deposits, right from the owner and pet profile. Assign barcodes to owners for quick check-in. Track calls, emails, and SMS. So I mean, you've got an extension for SMS. Custom icons with superpowers. I don't know what that means. Nice. Branded with your logo. So this is online booking, customer portal. So the online booking will have a customer portal. How about that for fancy? Basically where they can log in and they can kind of like look at, past transactions, maybe if they're accumulating some kind of score or different stuff. Just fancy. Branded with your logo, customizable lead forms, customer self-registration, mobile friendly, screen responsive, no native app required. Easily link from your web page, social media. So, I mean, it just slides right in. Online booking, tons of features, slides right in. And like I said, you can read this stuff verbatim. I don't want to take up all your time. Dashboard. Quick view of all pets expected. Quick check-in, multiple pets from multiple owners. Just all kinds of cool stuff. Local weather widget. Look, there's even a time clock. Reservation service settings, automatic email and SMS. I just feel like making a transition to this and just really taking the time to see how we can make it work. Like, what do we have to do? Let's actually take the time to digest what we'd actually have to do and how it would change things. And I bet once we do the legwork on that, wrapping our heads around that, making the actual change will just feel really, really nice. And maybe we update the hardware as well, since we're going to be out with the canine and in with the ginger. Maybe update the hardware as well, and everything's just going to zip. Everything's just going to pull right up. Everything's going to move. You're going to be able to search and do different things. And you got this software that's fully updated and it's just well thought out. You got prepaid packages, enable customers to purchase online, capacity limits. So, I mean, this will just tie right into the website, and then we don't even have to worry about the bookings side of things. We don't have to worry about the software side of things. Those two things are integrated, and they're just working well. The biggest thing is, like, think about it how, I set you up with Thunderbird email, and then it was just easier to go back to doing the tabs because that's what you knew and that's how you could get your work done. And that makes sense. But when you come up to the business side of things, it's going to be very, very difficult to make a transition like this. It's going to, people don't want the front desk change, even if it's going to make things better. But if we do the extra legwork on wrapping our brains around what it is that's actually going to change and how we can take it on, then, making that transition is going to actually benefit our workflow and our business as a whole. And, we might make changes. When we migrate the website over, we might get a bunch of complaints. There might be complaints along the way, but we know that this is worth it. These things are worth it. We can't, what's the alternative? Sit around and do nothing? So people don't like change, deal with it. I think this is going to be best and do well for the animal den. I think that this is going to be what's best for the animal den. You know what I mean? It's not about what's best at the front desk or what's best for, you know what I mean? All right, so it has all kinds of integrations and two-way SMS, webcams, so some kind of staff scheduler, and it's got clock in, gate and door control access, Sync Ginger with online software, like MailChimp, maybe even Salesforce, I don't know. QuickBooks, it links in with the accounting, QuickBooks, all kinds of stuff, man. It's just doing the legwork to adopt it. People don't want to do that, but you know what? It's might be what's in best interest for the animal den. So I wanted to play like 10 seconds of this video. I don't know if you can hear the audio or not, so I got it plugged up. You can see those are customers online doing some stuff. It ties into, look, that's one of the employees back there with a tablet. It's cool. This is the leading software. All right, that's everything. I'm wrapping it up. I'll talk to you, man. Bye.